Anything going on in the world today?
Oh, damn!
Well, to everybody who is tuning in, we know that Donald Trump was just sworn in as the 47th president of the United States.
Wow.
Give him a chance! So, in his inaugural address, Trump said the golden age of America has begun, and he wasted no time in outlining a slew of executive orders, but did not specifically talk about, at least yet, imposing those tariffs on Canada. So we want to sort of dissect today's inauguration and our reaction to what we just saw in Washington, D.C., Andrea.
Okay, so where are we going to start? We're going to talk TikTok, or we're going to start with the inauguration?
Inauguration.
There's so much going on. First of all, happy to see all of your happy, your smiling
Yes.
faces.
We're in Canada.
And a reminder, happy Martin Luther King Day. Start off on a lighter note.
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay,
That's smart.
so as I'm watching this inauguration, which we literally just left our televisions watching it, I am confused and perplexed and befuddled because while all the pomp and circumstance, which I usually love to watch for all of these types of events, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, how is everybody just acting like not just a couple years ago, this same person who you are celebrating today tried to overthrow the government and steal an election.
And that room was trashed,
And
that very room that he's being inaugurated in.
And I'm just looking at it going, why does, he doesn't deserve this sacred tradition. He tried to dismantle the entire system just, not 10 years ago, not 50 years ago. Just 4 years ago. So I was having a hard time just watching everybody with smiles on their faces. A lot of those people who are in that room were heavy critics of his, including his own vice president. And I'm just watching for a crack or like someone to just blink and be like, I know what's going on, but it seems like everybody has drank the Kool-Aid and I'm just like, okay.
Well, there were some subtle cues. Like you noticed, like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were, of course, sitting right off to his, I guess, left, and I was zeroed in on them at certain points in time because they were not clapping during lots of it, and everybody was giving standing ovations. They stayed seated. So there was some subtle messaging.
Do you
going
know who I took my tone from was George Bush. He was sitting there, and he's sitting in a really like illustrious lineup with Barack Obama, the Clintons, and George Bush's wife, whose name I remember. Laura. Thank you. I was thinking his mother. Anyway, he just kept sort of like looking around and like trying to get everyone's attention, like the bad boy in school, like the class clown, like, hey, he's like, can you believe it? He wanted someone to be like, can you believe this is a joke?
Yeah.
A failed casino mogul wasn't president for the second time.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe it?
He is the naughty boy, and he's the only one who gave us perhaps a few moments of levity.
Yeah.
Because what I was witnessing was an unprecedented infiltration of capitalism into American politics. Unprecedented. If you take a look, you know Trump, he's all about optics. Who's sitting where? And there was billionaires row. It was Elon Musk. It was Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google. It was Zuckerberg. It was Bezos, the CEO of TikTok, although he's not in that actual lineup. And all I said was, this is the message. Who is controlling American government from here on in? It ain't Trump, it's the billionaire bros. So look out.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because you know who's gonna get a rude awakening? During this past election, Trump got a lot of support from Black men, Latino men, women, and young voters who believe that he is the answer to what their problems. They can't afford groceries, the economy is in the toilet. And I'm thinking to myself, are you not paying attention to the people who are in this room who do not have your interests in their hearts?
Yeah.
Are you guys paying attention to that while you're paying attention to all this TikTok banning nonsense? This is what's really gonna happen. There's gonna be a nationwide ban on abortion. He's getting rid of your affordable health care. Are you guys paying attention to that? Because in that speech, I'm like, I wonder if they're reading between the lines. And I know the answer is no, but I'm just like, when is everybody gonna kind of wake up and see
Well, no, because
what's really going on?
I don't know. I think what's more important, like Barron Trump really grew a lot. He's like, he shot up.
I was looking at him a lot during this. You know what? I was surprised too. I was like, wow, he was like my son's age, I feel like, the last time around. But he still has the same face. Like, he looks, I'm like, somebody needs, maybe he's the one who's gonna save us all.
Oh, please. No. I was thinking the opposite. I'm thinking when you think of most dictators, what they do is once they're finished what happens? Their son takes over, and I'm looking and I'm counting how many Trump children in that background. I go, yeah, there's how many of them? 4 of them? Three boys and 2 girls. I'm like, if you don't like Trump, you better get used to it, because I have a feeling that these men that we're seeing right now are going to be in lockstep to be the next president in the future.
Can we talk about the obvious also in the room? As if anybody was watching, the procession of people, you all know that this was supposed to be outdoors. It was canceled last minute and moved indoors, and it was supposed to be almost 600 people.
Because of the cold temperatures.
Yeah.
Supposedly the cold temperatures. I think somebody was a little nervous about crowd size, but anyway, what I wanted to say was, when we look at what the push has been, if you were a Democrat and supporting Democrats, was this increase of diversity of women and people of color. And that room was real throwbacky to me because it was very homogenous. I saw a lot of old white men, and I just thought to myself, and he specifically said in his speech that basically DEI is over. And so, we're gonna go colorblind, and there's only 2 genders, it's only male, it's only female, to which I say,
there's also freedom of speech.
Then there's freedom of speech.
Contradiction. I'm gonna be taking over, it's America's gonna be, protecting our own interests and whatever, and yet we're also gonna be a peacemaker. But we're gonna take over the, Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America.
You're gonna get in based on your merit, something that rich people always seem to do, getting in on their own merit, not paying their way in. He said a lot of jarring, very bizarre things during that speech.
And contradictory, Anyway, we're gonna go more into this.
It's gonna be okay.
We are gonna do more of a deep dive on this tomorrow again.
It's not over, folks. Brace yourselves. All right.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.